Welcome to the 4-H Entrepreneurs Facilitator Training Lesson 2, Business Plans, Creating Budgets, and Finding Investors. Just like in Lesson 1, facilitators should always follow the method of do, reflect, apply. As a reminder, that means that when youth come to a class, they should have a 5-minute icebreaker, then jump straight into a hands-on activity. Briefly introduce the topics of today's workshop: business planning, creating budgets, and finding investors. Now jump right into talking about why they think a business plan is important and what might be part of their plans. Talk with the group about their ideas for at least 5 minutes. Now it's time to do the first activity. There will be 2 activities in this lesson, so plan on taking about an hour for each one. Divide the attendees into 2 groups. One group is going to act as customers, and one is going to sell the product or service they have created for their business. If you have adults who are attending, they are welcome to join in as additional customers. Hand out the paper debit cards found in the appendix and tell the customers that they have $10,000 to spend purchasing from these businesses. The entrepreneurs should use the sample budget worksheet to record their revenue in the startup column, also found in the appendix. Give the class about 15 minutes to make mock purchases and sales, and then reverse the roles and repeat the exercise. By the end, everyone should have some sample sales recorded on their budget worksheets. Go around the room and ask anyone who wants to share how much money they made. Be sure to tell them that now we have identified their gross income. Now it's time to talk about their business expenses. Go through any relevant lines in their expenses section of the worksheet and ask youth to write down all of the costs of their business. When they have finished, they should be able to come up with a total for their gross sales, total expenses, and total net sales. Ask youth to share what their operating expenses are and give the group an opportunity to offer recommendations to each other about reducing unnecessary costs. Have a discussion about their net profits, where they may need to increase revenue or add any additional revenue streams. Ask youth to start their digital version of a business budget using the Google Doc link and QR code from the workbook when they leave today's class. Discuss with them about how it would be helpful to start with their business expenses first. Can they see how learning to create a budget could be helpful beyond the 4-H Entrepreneur class? Now it's time to talk about how youth can fund their business. Talk about the options for raising startup funds from the workbook and ask each youth to calculate their current business value by writing down all of their assets minus their liabilities. If you have a computer and projector set up, play one business pitch from Shark Tank using the link in the workbook. Next, ask any of the youth if they'd like to come to the front of the class to pitch their idea to potential funders. The rest of the attendees should pretend to be investors and ask questions to the presenter about their business. Depending on the number of youth who are willing to present their idea, this should take 15 to 20 minutes. Talk with the group about how much they need to raise based on their budget and how they plan to find startup money. Discuss what they noticed from each presentation and how that might change their pitch to future investors. Discuss with youth how they think big businesses found their startup money. What are the most important elements of a business pitch beyond the business finances? Circle back to Lesson 1 about creating a business that fills a need and how important it is to communicate that message to future investors. Lastly, spend about 10 minutes talking about business licensing. If youth are only going to create and sell products for the 4-H Entrepreneur Program, they do not need an official business license. If they continue their business after this program, they should use the QR codes in the book to apply for a business license. This is also where you come in as a facilitator who knows the unique needs of your group. Be sure to communicate directly with any youth who needs certain certifications, such as a food handler's permit, drone pilot's licenses for drone operation, CPR or first aid trainings, etc. Send youth home with the charge to research their business's certification needs and be ready to answer their questions the next meeting. Thank you for watching the 4-H Entrepreneurs Facilitator Training Lesson 2.